Hello? Mr. Executive? Anyone here?
What? Rod? What are you? Oh, I knew I forgot something.
What's going on here, Mr. Executive? Why are there boxes everywhere? And where's your furniture? You doing some sort of aggressive redecorating?
No. Rod, the writer strike's over. We're packing it all up.
Oh, right. Move to a bigger studio and make room for all the writers that want to help me with this weekly masterpiece.
For what I'm hoping will be the last time I ever have to say this, why would you think that, Rod? Listen, the studio is over.
Over the moon about how many episodes we're going to produce?
Rod! We're closing the studio down. It was a sham studio. It wasn't real. Your show was the only one we produced.
Right. The last quarter of what you said makes sense to me.
We created it to pressure the Writers Guild into dropping a strike, showing them it wasn't difficult to make something that people would like without them and their overly promoted college degrees.
Well, those things are hard to get.
Yeah, but the average person doesn't have one, so people don't understand any of the crap these pompous writers talk about anyway.
And I can understand that, but every story can't be about a guy who's down on his luck and magically wins out at the end.
That's why we have dogs and monkeys.
I already told you, I can't write for animals. It's too hard to get into their headspace.
See? Stuff like that. Headspace. People don't know what that is. We just need something simple to keep them occupied.
Well, I have this story about the complexities and deeper morals of what makes a man a true man, and the ethics of their placement in society, be it private or national.
No! That's way too much. Just give him the same old crap. There's an orphan, and it turns out he's related to someone powerful. Throw some Twilight Zone stuff in there. Maybe he's related to the Twilight Zone. He's like, that Superman. Call him Mr. Twilight Zone.
Oh my God! I think I've chosen the wrong side in this strike. Look, Mr. Executive, if you want a superhero story, I've got one about a superpowered baseball player.
Perfect! Another great job, Rod. I'll see you next week for the... Wait a minute. You tricked me!
Too late! You already booked me for another show. I hope you didn't pack up the sound effects department because it's the only way to truly display the superpowers of the mighty Casey.
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? The only podcast that does its job to the worst of its ability and patiently waits for the day when everyone asks the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm joined by my co-host, Huge. How are you, sir?
Yo, I'm alive.
Good.
I mean,
So far.
in a way.
Given your apparent health risks and age.
What the hell's that supposed to mean? Yo!
I'm just saying that this is being filmed during a time where the coronavirus is not at all an issue.
No. You were pretty much a hair away from saying, given your nature. I don't know how you're breathing at the moment.
Look, I don't know what the best way to describe... Actually, I do know the best way to describe how effed you are, and that is by introducing J Delta. Wagwan, sir.
Wagwan.
Well, we know what's Wagwan is. We're all fucked.
Yo.
We're all fucked. Tell him why his life choices make him way more susceptible to this disease than he realizes.
Oh my God, do you have any sort of diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, asthma, any sort of lung condition, anything like that?
Ooh.
If you got any of that, you might be in trouble.
But what about my job's health?
Hang on, I'm sorry. I gotta know, how do we update the you might be a redneck?
I know.
To fucking, you might have the coronavirus.
Well, you might have the COVID.
You might have the COVID. Do you sweat for no reason? Well, maybe you're fat, I don't know. But also, you might have the COVID.
Well, yeah, if you are fat, well, then you might have the COVID.
Basically.
You can't outrun it.
Because you can't run it.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we watched The Mighty Casey, right?
Yes.
Yes, that is the 35th episode of the first season of the 1960 The Twilight Zone, which first aired June 17th, 1960, wherein a down-and-out baseball team's fortune are lifted by a mysterious but seemingly unbeatable young player.
I bet he's an alien.
I bet he's a time traveler.
I bet he's a rock. Sorry, I meant The Rock. He's a real ringer. We're going to make a whole Hollywood production out of it. Which brings me to Hot Debate!
Hot debate! Hot tootin' is a hot debate!
Hot Debate here. Get your Hot Debate.
I'll take one.
We're out.
Hot debates! Buy one, get one free!
Why would I buy one? If I could
I'll
get
just
one.
take
I'll
the
take
free one.
Yo, Hot Debate. Why is baseball so boring?
How dare you! How dare you!
Yo, took us 35 episodes, finally got a real Hot Debate.
No, baseball's exciting. You see, because this guy, he's a left-handed batter. So
Yes!
you have to pull the left fielder in a little bit from the
no, wake up,
outfield.
guys! This is enthralling stuff. All right, and let me just explain, okay? So he's a left-handed pitcher, right? And he's got a knuckleball.
Wait. Is it left or right? You said he's a left-handed
He's
pitcher.
a left-handed
right?
pitcher, right?
Who's on first?
I can't debate you.
That's right. I am undebatable. I win all my debates.
Oh, wait, no, that's just unbelievable.
Yo, is baseball...
Yo. Oh, I wish I knew any of the lyrics to that song to try to riff
Yeah,
my own
there's no
version
lyrics.
of it. Ow, you're undebatable. It's like there's some unintelligible rap. I don't know. I think it's sung with like a British accent, so it's even like it's harder for me to understand on top of it just being rap.
So with a British accent, you're doing...
Yeah, I'll put that song on right now, and you try to distinguish the two. Oh, are you waiting for me to do it?
No!
Oh. All right. So, it's boring, right?
No,
we
it's
can
not
move
boring.
on. It's
Baseball
boring.
is incredible.
Is baseball the only sport where, like, 3/4 of the way through, they have to go, okay, everybody get up, come on, stretch out your legs, wake up, come on, don't fall asleep, come on, everybody, look, stretch your arms, everybody,
What if we all started singing a song and
take me to the Cracker Jack, buy some snacks. Is it the only sport?
yeah.
I mean, okay, Mr. Man, what about Broadway play got intermission?
Is that a sport?
Okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing. I see. Okay, you know what? Baseball has got a character. It's not just about the game you're playing. It's about how it makes you feel. Haven't you seen that movie? Field of Dreams?
I thought when you said it has character, I thought you were talking about the mascots. Because I love those characters, the way they dance.
Okay. All right. I see what's going on. You're trying to besmirch the legacy of America's pastime up until, 2000 or so. That's waning from there.
And then before that, when they discouraged anybody of a certain color entering the field.
Well, that was up until, the 1940s, and then also past, 2000.
Yeah.
Where now it's just exclusively.
Up until the 1940s, and then after as well.
Okay, all right, well...
That's oof. You made me think about that now. That's rough. The last time I heard about a non-white baseball player, he bleached himself white.
His name is Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
And he is on steroids.
Oh, you're making it sound better. Keep going.
He can barely walk
Oh.
because of the steroids.
In a game where you swing a stick, he can't walk because of that.
It's
It doubles as a cane.
all right. I don't know what else to say about this other than everyone loves baseball. That's why it's consistently rated in the top 5 of sports in this country. behind football and
It's consistently rated
basketball.
in the top 5 of 10th most popular sports.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I think all that was true. And we are way deep into the truth hour already. I think it's already happened.
Come and gone.
Yeah, it's already gone. We could just go right into the dates, like the true dates. June 15th. When did this aired? What? The 17th, did I say? Yes, June 17th was the air. So we go back in time a little bit upon us already going back in time. That's double time travel, baby. June 15th, the 8-month-long strike by the Writers Guild of America has ended with settlement that the writers would later regret, with the rights to residuals on old films being given up in return for health and pension benefits.
Oh my god,
Yo.
you gave up residuals. Holy shit, why would you do that?
Yo, can you imagine that? Yo, you write us something and then we'll make money off that thing you wrote forever, or you can get some money off of that. However, you'll die today. Sorry, it's your choice which one you want.
Well, wait, how do you know that I'm going to die today? I mean, I don't feel sick. Or, oh, you're just going to give me something.
Yeah. No, we have a contingency plan. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I was looking up. The Writers Guild's actually really complex, actually, because there's writers, and then there's television writers, and then the actors joined in on this sketch. On this. Well, for them it's a sketch because they fucking bailed out like 2 months into it.
Oh, really?
They joined in and they were like, "Well, that was fun." I guess they got what they needed and left or whatever. But yeah, so they everything's taken care of now. Finally.
Yo, isn't the whole dream of like going and being a writer or doing anything in Hollywood residuals? Isn't that the point?
I thought the whole point was that you do a thing once and you live off that for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
June 16th, Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Anthony Perkins as the killer of the Bates Motel, has premiered in 2 cinemas in New York City, and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's out, so, the writer's strike didn't affect movies, I guess. So I don't know what the writer's strike was for when you come to it, because it was for TV writers.
Yeah.
But we have been watching this television show the whole time.
I guess
So I don't know.
So you're telling me Rod Serling's a scab?
Ooh, yeah, directly so. Yeah, 100%.
It's not that Hollywood was suddenly ready for some brave new voice. He's like, no, I'll cross the picket line.
Yeah. Also, they didn't have anything else.
Yeah, there were 4 things on.
June 17th, Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox hits his 500th home run in a game against, well, they give you some information here.
Okay.
It's too boring.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
so boring.
Okay, really?
Why, you know
Really?
these people?
Yeah. Teddy Ballgame? Yeah, I know him.
Teddy Ballgame?
Yes. Listen, they weren't very original back then with the nicknames. Teddy Baseball Player.
Which is insane to me because this pitcher's real name is Win Hawkins.
Win Hawkins?
That's his real name, not his nickname.
Oh, no.
At the time, he was only the 4th person to reach the milestone after the very famous Babe Ruth. Jamie Foxx.
It's not Jamie Foxx. Jimmy Fox.
No, it's Jamie Foxx.
It's not Jamie Foxx.
Jimmy Foxx and Melot.
He did say Jimmy. No, he said Jamie, so it's Jamie Foxx.
Damn, the truth hour, no.
Is it? Which one is it now? Because now you said it was both.
It turns out it was 2 guys in one costume.
Oh, he's just been like shape-shifting and time-traveling?
No, 2 little short men.
And they're both very close to death now because of the long... Okay. So they did it. One was on top of the first half.
Yep.
And then and they switched because like, ooh, my face has been covered all these years. Now it's young. He'll look fresh. We can trick him for another couple decades. Start the scam over.
It's always a scam with you. You're always trying to get a leg up on something.
Yo, this is America. It's a gig economy.
And when you're 2 short guys, you need to get a leg up. Yeah.
Let's move on to the best hour.
Our favorite.
The Troy McClure Hour. Oh, hello! I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from the foreword of such sports medical journals as The Ball Goes Up and Down, My Struggle with Depression as an Athlete, or Going Wide and Getting Open, The Struggles of Sex Addiction. Today, we're here to talk about sports-related heart illnesses. So, Jack Warden plays Mouth McGarry, You'll recognize him, maybe, from the 1957 1200 Year Men, the 1981 The Great Muppet Caper, and his final role in the 2000 The Replacements. He died in 2006.
You may also remember him from Problem Child.
Right, yeah, he was in all of them, yes.
Yes.
It
He's
did not...
Grandpa, right?
Yeah. It wasn't listed as one of his accomplishments. Neither was The Great Muppet Caper either, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They listed things that, like, won him awards and stuff.
This man worked with Muppets.
Right. Next is Abraham Shofar. That's what that's... Sophia. Abraham Sofar.
Sofa eater.
Sofa eater, okay. He plays Dr. Stillman.
Don't say so fast, lose meaning.
1948, he was in A Matter of Life and Death.
No, he
Come
wasn't.
on. That's what I said. I don't care what it says. That's what I said. And we're out of the truth hour now, so that doesn't matter. So then I guess I should clarify he was in 1946. A Matter of Life and Death. He was in the 1951 Quo Vadis.
Mm-hmm.
And his final appearance was the 1974 Klochak. The Night Stalker.
Yo, I am so sad for you that dyslexia is one of the conditions that put you at risk for COVID-19.
Yeah. You mean Dorgiv? Dorgiv 91, folks. I have it. Whoo! So where did I mess up? How far back should I go from the start? Because
No, just on to the next guy.
it's on the next guy. Won't even talk about when that guy died. Okay, good. Robert. Oh, geez.
That was 3 syllables.
But there's a lot of letters in there.
Yo, but they're repeating letters.
Yeah, but that's the
There's
problem.
not a whole lot of letters
That's the
in
problem.
That's the
There's no
confusing-
pattern.
Yo, it's not Da Vinci Code to break, motherfucker.
You say that, yet here I am trying to break this shit apart. So, Robert Sorrells plays Casey. You may remember him from the 1962 television series Ensign O'Toole, the 1985 Fletch. That's the Chevy Chase movie. And his final appearance in the 1990 Gabriel's Fire. He died in 2019. What's that? What's that question you're asking, but I've never once asked before? What was he doing in those 1, 2, there's several decades between that time? Oh, he was in serving a life sentence in California for a murder and attempted murder in 2004. Yeah, so he died in prison.
Dang.
From a life sentence for... Yo, I looked into it. Ooh, yo, America needs some help, man.
Hopped up on coke?
No, he was just hanging out in a bar, and him and some patron got into an argument, and the murdered guy was like, calm down. Just calm down. Look, just go outside. Go outside, calm down. And he went outside, he calmed down. And he came back with his gun and shot that guy. And another guy that showed up 10 minutes before the guy came back, but after he had already, he had nothing to do with that.
Oh
Bam,
my
attempted
God.
murder. Bam, got shot. Yeah, shot them both. I was surprised at how descriptive it was. He came back, he shot the one guy point blank, shot the other guy, or I shot at the other guy, then turned back to this point blank guy, shot him again, then turned back to the other guy, shot him again.
Yo.
Yeah, he gets life.
Yeah.
He gets life.
Those are the actions.
This
of a
party that's
maniac.
like, ooh, hey, don't judge a book by its cover. But there's another party who are like, yo, I looked into that actor's eyes and I thought he played a robot too well. Yikes. So yeah, if you want to see who else died in prison,
Yeah.
you can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com. Let's start the episode. We open in a baseball stadium. Oh man, this is like the longest opening
my
narration
God.
ever. I feel like I may have pointed this out before, but I'm not sure. I noticed for the first time. This show is rated TV-14 for smoking and fear. All right, so we get the opening narration. What you're looking at is a ghost. Once alive, but now deceased. Once upon a time, it was a baseball stadium that housed a major league ball club known as the Hoboken Zephyrs. Now it houses nothing but memories and a wind that stirs in the high grass of what was once an outfield. A wind that sometimes bears a faint ghostly resemblance to the roar of a crowd that once sat there. We're now back in time. And we actually do, like, people appear in the stadium. When the Hoboken Zephyrs were still a part of the National League, and this mausoleum of memories was an honest-to-Pete stadium. But since this is strictly a story of make-believe, it has to start this way. Once upon a time in Hoboken, New Jersey, it was tryout day. And though he's not on the field yet, you're about to meet a most unusual fella, a left-handed pitcher named Casey. We see that players are on the field practicing. They are all showing signs of damage or fatigue, either in their bodies or in their clothes themselves.
One of the dudes doing jumping jacks was the least coordinated human being I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he turns back at one point to be like, how do they do this?
Yeah, I know people had different health attitudes back then, but everybody on this team jiggles. Jack Warden's character goes over to the general manager, and he mentions, hey, these players suck. The GM says, well, we're in 31st place. These are the best tryouts we could attract.
Are there that many teams, Mr. Baseball?
Well,
Or did I get those numbers wrong and they weren't in 31st place? Because they do give a couple of numbers, and I'm not sure if I got them right.
I assume that they were a minor league baseball team, in which case there are hundreds.
No, but he
specifically
If it was
says
a major league at the time, there were probably at most 20 teams.
And they're in 31st
This isn't a real
place.
team, so there was no at
No,
the time.
I know there was no. Actually, no, I'm saying
okay.
1960.
Oh,
If it was 1960 baseball, then there wasn't, because the expansion's been going since.
Right.
So that means not only did they last in the major league, they somehow fell like 10 spots into the minor league.
College teams were beating them. Like, yeah, he lost to a goddamn high school team last week.
We're supposed to be playing the Yankees, and they just sent this local college team instead.
No, that's where you are on the standings. You're fighting the Main Street Yankees.
It's not even a college team. It's just a local gang of street toughs.
So, the Jack Warden's character, he's like, the GM says maybe if the team manager, Jack Warden's character, maybe if you actually win a match or may win a game, then we could call it a winning streak and attract some people in there, whatever. Get a caller in the dugout, new players coming on the field. All right, cool. Here he comes. He mentions this real quick. They're like, you got the lineup yet? He's like, I just pick him as I feels him. So his lineup, i.e. who's going to pitch the game, random. Anyone he wants at a whim. Should I warm up my arm? Yeah, do it 5 seconds from when you have to throw fastballs, like for your career. So Dr. Stillman arrives on the field and he introduces Casey, who is immediately sound effects right in the head with a baseball. He then, I forget if he shakes it off or not, but I think he shakes it off and you hear like a, and then he walks over to the manager's hands and sound effects shakes his hands.
Those are definitely your favorite sounds in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, because they're always out of place. They're so out of place. Like, I just picture, like, fucking... What's the fat one and the skinny one? The comedians. The old-timey comedians.
Oh, I just want to see a struggle.
Arbuckle? I don't know.
Oh, you're getting there.
Arbuckle and Gatsby.
Yeah, Arbuckle and Gatsby. Arbuckle and Gatsby. I just picture Arbuckle walking around eating a burger whenever I hear that noise. This is what happens when you don't help people that you have the ability to help.
I gave it a second, and I was like, all right, now I'm going to start to read them off.
Oh, I had to feel power before I help somebody. Thanks, America.
No, I want you to beg for my help before I give it.
You need help? Bleed for that help.
Right, help me in your blood.
Listen, I'd live for that. Actually... But no, you had to take that away from me with your Arbuckle and
Gatsby.
Gatsby.
Yo.
Oh, my bad.
You not know the most famous duel in comedic history. Arbuckle and Gatsby. Look me.
Arbuckle's always getting into shit. Gatsby's like, Arbuckle.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole
Yeah.
bit. It's great.
I don't know why you were struggling with it before. You seem to have a firm grasp.
You know
on it
that
now.
famous comedy skit, Who's That Man? Arbuckle, who's that man?
Not a clue, sir. Perhaps you could tell me. But I asked you, and they just goes back and forth like that.
Arbuckle.
But I asked you. How do we rip off Who's on First without people realizing we ripped off Who's on First, but also making it obvious that we ripped it off? Like, that's art. That's art. Art is hard. All right, well, a blackout would have happened right now. We would have got a sponsor, but we just did a commercial for Arbuckle and Gertrude or whatever their names were. So we're back.
Oh, man. Yo, I gotta say, I liked it better when it was Arbuckle and Gatsby. When they changed it to Arbuckle and Gertrude, it just, the chemistry wasn't there.
No, look,
It just didn't.
the show must go on, you know?
He needed some money. It was tough with a name like Art Arbuckle. How are you going to make money?
Ooh.
Other than Art Arbuckle's alliteration administration.
But, I mean, a man like me with dyslexia couldn't handle that. You just pick up the phone and you go, yeah, I need R. And they connect me right to the Pirate Brigade. Next thing you know, I'm part of a union I don't want to be part of. All right, so we come back from our union break, and we see Casey pitching on the mound, and McGarry is asking questions to Stillman about Casey, and this is so weird, because he's like, how old is he? And Stillman's like, oh, age. Well, that's a fine question. How do you do? Well, age is a weird thing, and if you think about it, he's only been here for about... And he's like, right, okay, what about this? And he's like, right, well, you see, the thing about that is, it's, and then McGarry goes, what? And Stillman goes, oh, he's a robot. He tried so hard to dance around the questions, and then he literally goes, oh, he's a robot. Here's the blueprints. And hands him a piece of paper, but McGarry's like, holy crap, I got a loony. And he's like, don't worry. Watch Casey throw the ball, and he sound effects throws the ball.
Yeah, I got really upset at that one because it's a knuckleball, but they call it a slow ball.
Yeah.
To kind of dumb it down for people.
He's got a sinker, a slower, a faster, a curvy, a lefty, and a twister. It's incredible. He's the most unbelievable robot you've ever seen. And they all got their own sound effect. It's the best.
What pissed me off about this episode was the entire episode is just sound effects. They're just using their newly created soundboard for the first time in history. But they don't do any sound effects that I can remember of a robot being like, whoop, whoop.
No.
Turns
Nothing.
out they didn't know what a robot sounded like back then.
The only robot sound was literally, I'm almost positive, when he first showed up, he gets hit in the head, he shakes it off, you hear, and the only reason I know that is because I heard that and immediately went, oh, he's a robot. Like, they gave it away from me the second he was on screen. So yeah, he's like, I don't believe all the pitches I just saw him throw. I'm going to go stand behind the pitcher and ask him to throw those things again. And he does it. And now he's like, wow. And he goes, you're hired. And Stillman's like, you heard me when I said robot, right? And he was like, shut your mouth. You're already hired. Go take him in the back. And he's like, we're going to drop the contracts. Let's go. Yeah. And I just, every time I watched it, I was like, I got to mention this. It's so adorable. Which is, he's like, listen, go ahead. Go take him to the locker room and get changed. You wear clothes, right? All right, get him in there. Go. And then they walk away and you see him and he kind of thinks for a second. And he goes to walk to the dugout and he walks.
Yeah.
And then he starts skipping to the dugout. I was like, why is he skipping? Was skipping like way more socially acceptable back then and I didn't know it? Did I miss out on skipping? I missed out on skipping, huh?
Born the wrong time.
I could have been skipping as a man this whole time. But now I can't. Today? Mm-mm. No.
Yo, Skip and Die with Arbuckle and Gatsby, and that shit was depressing.
Yo, but Gertrude survived the whole thing!
Yo.
Gatsby took that fucking skipping shit to the grave.
And they tried to dig it up. The other lady I just said, whatever. Moving on. He calls up the GM. He's like, drop the contracts. He's going to be great unless he rusts. What's that? Don't worry. It's an inside joke that I hope you never find out about. And then he looks up at a pole and he imagines the pennant. He's like, yeah, a pennant. That's the stuffs.
Is that how it works? When you win a thing, you just put a flag up?
Oh, yeah.
Why can't you just hang a flag up and pretend?
Because then it's fraud.
Well, so they have like your championship flags, right?
I don't like how matter of fact you're about to explain this.
But then there are these teams who never win anything, and it's like, well, they must have no flags, but they still have flag poles, don't they?
Yeah.
Just like for other sports too, they have the rafters. It's like, oh, they'll put up the jerseys, but what if no one good ever played there? They'll put up their championships, but what if no banners? They never did anything. So they'll put up anything.
Right. Any accomplishment they have.
Almost any. And then there are teams who have nothing, and it's whoever played at that arena. So you'll see banners of like Kiss. And it'll be like, Kiss, 32,000
Kiss
people.
played here.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, sorry, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Our pitcher, home of pitcher Alphonse Alfredo, who won a hot dog eating contest held at this stadium last year.
You're not far off. You're not far off, my friend.
Why can't I go back to being lied to?
So you telling me Joey Chestnut has more?
Oh, Joey Chestnut has a championship belt, and he has more banners in certain stadiums than teams that play there. No championships for Eater X, though. Sorry, Eater X.
Eater X.
You don't know Eater X?
Does he have a mask?
What is that, like a toilet cleaner?
He's... It dissolves it right in front of your eyes.
Well, in a way.
You would like Eater X just because he dresses up like Ultimate Warrior.
No, I wouldn't. How dare you besmirch my good name that way, sir? No, I wouldn't. If he wore a mask with an X on it, yeah, I'd love him. I would love him unconditionally. But no, an Ultimate Warrior ripoff face paint? Get out of here.
Am I bad?
I feel like you have a poor conception of who I am based on the one time that you met me when I was in the middle of doing a parody character.
A, yes. B, I'm not sure you know what conception means.
It's when the sperm and egg come together.
That's when
Arbuckle and Gatsby came together to do a new sketch.
that's when your reality and actual reality fuck and make up their new perception of what is.
There's that word.
So yeah, we're like a full hour into this episode that we don't need to be into it. It's not that bad. Yeah, he imagines the poll. We get a blackout. I'll read the other one I had. Nah, I don't care. We're moving on. No.
No, we cut the sponsors. We took their money, but we ain't reading their ad.
Yo, it's better than the second sponsor I wrote, which is, are you sick of your dreams being so far out of your reach they seem impossible to achieve? Well, that's probably true, but thanks to a mirage, there is no ad. That's what I came up. So we go back to the stadium after the no ads. And actually, I'll say it. I thought the ads, the blackouts in this episode were placed strangely. I thought they were placed in weird parts compared to usual.
I feel like there's a lot of episodes recently where they're just throwing them in random places.
Maybe that's it.
Oh, I wish I could remember. There is a really odd blackout where it's in the middle of a scene. Like, I forget what it was. Someone's like yawning or talking or something, and then it's like, oh, that's odd. And then you come back from the blackout, and he's still doing it.
Yeah. Well, so we come back to the stadium. The game is happening. They, being the only characters that have shown up so far, Stillman and McGreary, they try to explain to Casey what nervous is, but he doesn't get it. So they send him out to pitch against the Giants. As Stillman and McGarry talk about Stillman's goals, he just wants to see if he can build a man. Literally, he's just seeing it. He already did it with a woman and a cook and a homemaker type shit, and he got fat. He gained like 50 pounds. So he wants to prove that he can make this super throwy, strong athlete type guy, and he figured the best way to do it was make him join the worst team in the league and bring him up to number one. And McGarry's like, oh boy, thanks. And, whatever, we get a bunch of like sound effects and we get spinning newspaper montage. Oh, rise in the ranks.
Necessary for baseball, and it can only be done to the song that I don't know the lyrics to from Major League. It's that guy.
Spinning newspapers, yeah.
Oh, you talking about that like Randy Newman song?
Randy Newman,
it's Randy Newman.
He does Major League.
I don't know, but you doing that just made me realize that a lot of his songs sound the same.
Yes.
Because you were doing a specific song.
I was doing Toy Story / Major League / whatever that one from that Disney movie is.
You got a friend of me.
No.
No, it's a baseball game. There it is. Eat some hot dogs. Here we go. Baseball time.
Baseball time. Baseball time.
Yes, that's how all of Randy Newman's songs go. He just plays a piano. He's like, baseball stuff, hats and gloves.
That's it. That's the song.
Yes. Hats and gloves.
Yo, how'd you know that was the lyrics?
No. You do know it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get back to this newspaper spinning. We get to the best part of the whole goddamn episode. Pew! Oh, Casey gets beaned!
Bean.
Bean, bean, bean!
I thought I was going to go at least one episode without hearing the word bean.
Yo.
Goddamn bean wars.
Listen, I know.
Snatch your bean back.
I know you're like, I'm sick of this gimmick, but no joke. I literally could not stop myself from earlier when I was talking to Delta, and he was like, yeah, we were worried about the corona. We were stocking up, so I went and I bought, some cans of beans, and I went, bean! Like, I couldn't help it. I literally couldn't stop myself from shouting beans.
What do you do when your reaction is like, it's Pee-wee's Playhouse, word of the day, and it's always beans?
Yo, I was almost embarrassed by it. Was just him and me, and I was like, bean! I was like, ooh, that's bad.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm being embarrassed.
I'm being embarrassed, yeah.
Get your nose gap out of here.
That's personal attacks.
It's your bean embarrassment.
He's got a bean gap now.
Just stick a bean in there.
That is like the perfect size for a bean. Yo, if I just reopen that and slip a bean up there and fill in the gap,
then you'll get into the strange world of like insertion piercings.
Oh,
people have all those ball bearings into their skin.
Bean bearings.
Yeah, I'm in. Oh man, it's so easy to trick me. Hey man, I got these weird implants I want to put in your skin. No, get away from me. They're beans. Yeah! Fill me up! So yeah, he gets beaned and he goes down and we go to a hospital and the doc checks out Casey and he's fine except for, he's fine except for, he's got no pulse. And that means he's not alive, but he's fine other than that. And Stillman's like, ooh, I think we might want to tell him. And people are like, I don't know. And he's just like, hey, Doc, he's a robot.
Yo. He
loves telling people that he made this robot.
And what's everyone's reaction to this news of a robot?
Well, this is obviously a violation of the baseball rulebook. I have to call the commissioner.
Let me school you guys on what happened in 1958 in baseball.
Oh my God. I'm afraid this might be real.
So a left-handed pitcher by the name of Sailor Rudolph came in and turned out he was an automaton. So now, all of a sudden...
Again, I'm still not sure if this is real. It might be real.
Well, he came back from the war, and all of a sudden, he's throwing haystacks at people. Haystacks! That's what we call big-time heaters.
Because I've seen that picture of that old-timey robot in a baseball cap, and now I don't know what reality is. This might be a true story.
Oh, I see. I see. You're making fun of baseball again. There may have been a robot pitcher in the 50s.
Just to clarify, in case you weren't sure if that was the truth, maybe it is. So we fade forward to, I think this is what you were talking about, the weird blackout, where he's like, I'm going to call the baseball commissioner. And we fade to the same room. There's just an extra guy in the room now. Nobody's changed positions.
No.
There's just an extra guy in the room.
We're gonna call the baseball commissioner. Hey, commissioner, get in here.
Comes in eating a sandwich. What? All right, so the commissioner is like, look, here's the rule book. It says that each team has to have a group of 9 men. Says men, and men means human. And human means men. And if he doesn't have a heart, he's not a human, so he can't play. And Stillman's like, yeah, I'll give him a heart if that's what the deal is about. I'll throw it in him. And everyone was like,
Would that make him a man? Was it? Is that
okay with you, baseball commissioner? Well, if the doc says it's okay, it's okay.
And that's it.
That's it. That's it. None about like, well, is he a man or not?
Well, I
Wait,
suppose.
are you telling me this whole time women could have gotten equality by just getting hearts? That's all they needed to get equal pay?
Yo, when he said that, I was like, where is my goddamn team of baseball gorillas? Yo, where is my 1990s kids film where I run the gambit with a team of gorillas playing baseball?
Well, there's no rule against gorillas.
Oh. I just remembered the movie Ed, where Matt LeBlanc is the baseball pitcher and they put a monkey on his team.
Oh.
Isn't that
I
called?
thought you were
that's
talking about MVP, Most
that's-
Valuable Primate.
Okay, then that's a different movie with him in it. Oh, I'm thinking of Mr. Ed.
Oh, no, you're thinking of Ed TV.
Yeah, you're thinking Ed TV, where the old guy, he's like, he kisses him on the head and then he dies.
Right.
Don't turn to me. I got nothing.
It's your turn to add to the story
No.
of Matt LeBlanc related films that I guess we've seen, or Ed related films.
No.
I don't
Oh,
know
you're
what
thinking of Lost in Space.
No, there was one called just Ed, and I think no.
No.
That was Ed O'Neill.
No.
He was just in it.
No, that's what the basketball coach is, Whoopi Goldberg. We've seen that movie.
That's Eddie.
That's Eddie.
Oh.
We did that one.
I was so hoping you were setting up for a joke.
That was my joke.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Ooh. So we fade forward. Oh, we already did that. Right, done. Give him slap a heart in that body and it's good to go. How does it connect? I don't care. In the locker room, everyone's waiting around for Casey to come back, but no answer from the phone. McGarry gives a big win this one for the Gipper speech. We gotta go out there and do it for him. But Casey shows up and he's ready to pitch. Go out there and do it for the Casey, right? We'll do it for Casey. Oh, hey, Casey. Like I said, we'll do it for Casey. Casey! I don't know how that's not a trope. Because I've seen that so many times.
Yes.
In TV shows where people are like, and we're going to do this one for Bill. And if he was here, I'd tell him right now, excuse me, Bill, we would gotta say, Bill! You know, I've seen, but it wasn't listed as a trope in the list. I was like, how is that not?
Ooh.
That's so classic. Or maybe I invented something.
Like all good white men, you see something that exists and you go, ooh, that? I noticed that. I discovered it and invented it.
I invented it. Yeah.
I'll put my name on it.
And we'll call it America.
I love that is the negotiation we had with Columbus. Like, I invented America. Well, you don't really invent a country, you discover it. Okay. No, that's not what we meant. Like, it was there before. No, you said. So, yeah. Locker room. Oh, wait. Yeah. Locker room. Do it for Casey. There's Casey. Are you feeling okay? I feel like togetherness. Whatever that means, go out and pitch. We go to the stadium. Game starts up. Casey throws a ball. Pew! Out of the stadium. What the? Another one. Pew! Out of the stadium. Gone. Just boom. And we hear that womp, 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 womp. Like just some flop horns. Where it's
Arbuckle.
We go back into the locker room in, I guess during that, that intermission that baseball has. And McGarry asks, hey, what's going on here? And they're like, well, he's got a heart. So now he's got compassion. and he just can't bring himself to strike those men out.
I got upset about that.
Dude, I did. It got worse for me when they tried to logic it into existence, where they're like, well, he's just not experienced enough to understand competitiveness or ego or drive. And I was like, yo, I'm fucking 30. When am I going to learn that shit? Like, what are you talking about? When the fuck is that shit go? He's not smart enough to get it. Like, he's not experienced enough to get it. So he's going to do social work and help people in need. Like a goon. See you later, doofus. And he leaves. Stillman is like, well, them's the breaks, kid. And he gives McGarry the blueprints as a memento. And he's like, well, see you later. Now that I know my robot worked, I don't need these blueprints anymore. And he leaves, and McGarry's like, jeez. And he looks at the blueprints, and he's like, ha, 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 hey, wait a minute. Hey, Doc, and runs after him, indicating to me he saw an obvious mistake in the plans, and I'll just, with all my baseball knowledge, can robot this thing to perfect robotery.
You put a bean in the wrong place.
You
should have been a legume.
You just gotta rebean him. If you rebean your robot.
Yeah.
First you gotta debean him.
Yeah.
Then you gotta rebean him.
Hold on, you didn't take your robot in for the 6-month rebeaning? Oh my god, what have you done?
Don't give me that. That rebeaning's a scam.
Oh, no, listen, you gotta bring it back to the robot dealer. That's the only place where they do the rebeaning right.
That's how they get you.
They keep you there all day.
They make sure that you only use their beans. So yeah, he runs after the doc, and he's like, you just see like in the distance, and they fade out of this, well, not fade out, but just draw out of the stadium, so you see wire shot of them walking across the field. And you get the closing narration. Once upon a time, there was a Major League Baseball team called the Hoboken Zephyrs. See, major. There was a Major League Baseball team called the Hoboken Zephyrs. That was too aggressive. I apologize. I take that back. That was way too much. Once upon a time, there was a Major League Baseball team called the Hoboken Zephyrs.
Major suck a dick.
Who, during the last year of their existence, wound up in last place and shortly thereafter wound up in oblivion. There's a rumor, unsubstantiated of course, that a manager named McGarry took them to the West Coast and wound up with several pennants and a couple of world championships. This team has a pitching staff that made history. Of course, none of them smiled very much, but it happens to be a fact that they pitched like nothing human. And if you're interested as to where those gentlemen came from, you might check under B for baseball.
For bean.
For bean.
In the Twilight Zone. Why don't you check under robot? Yeah, it was a very straightforward episode. Like nothing happened.
Here's a robot.
He pitches like a maniac. Hope nobody finds out.
Oh, they found out.
They found out almost immediately. What with that guy willing to tell everyone.
And they were totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Turns out, if you, they find out you're cheating to win in baseball, they just go, hey, you shouldn't have done that.
I don't know what you're referring to.
If only you had example after example of that sort of thing happening.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. So let's go on to the tropes and morals. There are 19 tropes listed from the tvtropes.com list thing. Some of them are artistic license, which they took with biology and history, both being that giving you a literal physical heart gives you mental emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of artistic license. Also, Hoboken Zephyrs, nothing about that is real. Another trope is the baseball episode, which is when you have a show about anything at all, anywhere with any amount of characters, and all of a sudden, one episode happens, and they're all on a baseball team. And you're like, that's never come up once before in the history of the show. You've never mentioned sports. Now you're on a team. Another one is crushing handshake. We've seen that before. It's self-explanatory. Gone horribly wrong, which is also the same for this, in this case, is loophole abuse, which is they gave a robot a heart so he could play baseball. But turns out he didn't have the heart to strike him out. Oh no. The protagonist-centered morality, which is surely building an unbeatable robot pitcher, is a flagrant is flagrant cheating, but it comes off as sympathetic because he's the main character. I mean, why would you make a robot to fight men and then be like, oh, I hope nobody... The rules, guys! The rules! A ridiculously human robot and robot athlete, obviously. And then spinning paper and stock footage. The stock footage are just like any of the fan shots in the stadium.
Yeah, I think they took a lot of shots from old, maybe at the time, stadiums. So they'll be like, here's a shot from, Fenway Park. Here's a shot from Wrigley Field.
Yeah. The moral, I guess, is you can't expect a man to have a heart and not use it, in a sense.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know why. What was your idea of a moral?
Don't get caught when you cheat.
Yeah, I like that one better.
Yeah, that one makes more sense.
I thought it was you can't be passionate without being sympathetic, but I was wrong.
This is America, baby. Cheat, but don't get caught.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Serling trying to be like, look, these executives want me to like give them good, heartfelt stories, but I can't pump out shit without caring about it. Like,
well, I don't understand how he could take literally like the shortest short story ever written, Casey at the Bat, and then just be like, which is a really good short story, and then just be like, all right, this needs a robot.
Who am I to tell you what is and what is not? But it's not a short story, right? It's actually a poem.
Well, there's different versions of it. There's like the longest version of it is when they go crazy with it, and then it becomes like the natural. But then you have a player who's super old and beyond his prime, and then all of a sudden now he plays like otherworldly, and he takes this team from bottom to top. But then you have, like you said, you have a poem. It's been, what is it? It was like 1800s, I think, is the original version of it.
Oh yeah, it's 1888. Yeah.
Needs robots.
Sure. I don't know where we started with that. I forgot where that started from. I don't know what point you're trying to make. I don't know how to counteract that.
Arbuckle!
Gertrude!
Yeah.
So,
I'm not going to watch the fucking Arbuckle and Gertrude episodes. I'll wait for the Arbuckle and Gatsby shit to come on. This is garbage. Ruin it. I don't understand why they got to fucking bring politics into it by bringing a woman. Why? Why do they got to make everything political by introducing a woman into it? Ugh.
You don't think old Gert looks pretty hot?
Political. You're making it political by acknowledging that women exist. You're making it political, and I hate it. No politics.
That's why I voted for Trump.
I can't even say it. I just don't want it to be used. Someone's going to pull a clip.
I don't know. Anytime anyone screams about voting, I'm just like, good for you, buddy. I'm glad that
you're passionate.
I'm glad that you're passionate. I'm glad that you think that if we just did that one thing, then I would have gotten my way. Like, oof. I can't tell you how many people were like, yo, who'd you vote for? Trump or Hillary? Which one did you vote for? I'm like, oh, why? Because if I voted for Clinton, then we'll change the numbers about her getting the popular vote. Oh, wait, she did. And then, what, maybe, like, it's just a series of like, well, maybe if we... You mean the thing that happens anyway? Well, if we vote enough, then they can't ignore our votes, except for all the super delegates that they use to ignore our votes anyway.
Yeah. Literally
Every time. But they can't do it every time, except when they actively take away the leaders we elect into office and put in their own shills. Yeah, I don't mean to point that out as a fact, but it happens every time, and you ignore it every time.
Yo,
and I feel like we're fighting the wrong battle here.
politics is depressing. Let's just go back to beans.
Elect beans to office. Remember back in the day when people were like, we should just elect a plant to office, and the ficus will run everything, and then the people...
What day was that?
Beantober. Yeah, baby. All right, so the next episode...
Season finale! We are here. We are finally here.
We're mean. We're bean. Get used to it.
Are beans mean?
Well,
You don't know Mean Bean Oakland?
We got ourselves a Mean Bean machine.
What am I looking for?
Mean Bean machine.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Yo, I heard the Sonic movie is actually pretty good.
Yeah, who said that to you?
The
The makers of the Sonic movie? Because every time I hear it, it's like, it's so good. And I look, and it's like promoted. It's every time. I'm like, great.
It's so good. Where'd you hear that? The poster.
yeah. The actors who are in it on their Twitter,
Oh, wow. Who'd they quote on the poster? Oh, the writer? Wow, that's interesting.
It's the best movie of the year. It's March. It's best animated feature of 2020.
Yo, remember that time Sonic was the highest grossing movie of the year, and then they released a deadly virus that forced all other movies into next year? So Sonic will remain the highest grossing movie of the year?
Yo, how does 2020 get worse every day?
Yeah.
Every hour of every day it's gotten worse.
Whoa! I like that conspiracy. How do we get it out
Remember
there?
first in 2016 when everyone who mattered died in like an 8-month span? It was just like, holy shit. Then 2017, it's like, all right. 2018, 2019, it's like, all right. 2020, another election year. Everyone's already dead. Oh, wait. Let's kill everyone else and cancel the world. The planet canceled.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't know.
2024, you got a lot to, you got to set the bar high, 2024. Holy shit.
So next episode. Next week, we take you back into the dark and hidden, unexplored recesses of a writer's mind and do some probing as to just how this type of bird operates. It's a fascinating excursion into the oddball. On The Twilight Zone next week, Keenan Wynn and Phyllis Kirk star in Richard Matheson's A World of His Own. And on this particular one, Sterling points to himself, even this kooky writer gets in on the act. Good night. Well, yeah, let me go ahead and... What did I say was going to happen? I refuse. I had no clue. I literally didn't know, but I was convinced that Serling was going to be some pompous writer or pompous executive who was like, "What's your idea, Mr. Writer?" Oh, that's nonsense. To be like, "Yeah, this is what you look like when you're telling me this."
He would never.
Yeah, I literally had nothing. I had no idea about what this was going to be about at all. I couldn't even guess.
I had remembered this episode. So.
Yeah, and you remembered it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know. Now time, having already watched this episode, none of that's true. None of the we explore the recesses. No, we don't. I get involved. No, you don't. You make a cameo at best when the story's already over. So yeah, join us for something we clearly hate and have no respect for. That's what people listen to us for, right? To disrespect stuff they love and give them a differing opinion. People like differing opinions with no backing, right?
Yeah, they love it.
They sure do.
We know that.
That explains why the numbers have gotten so bad. Like real bad. We gotta switch hard. Let's just do America. Why would you make America? What were we thinking?
What were we thinking? what were we thinking about this?
I'm digging it. I like it.
Join us next year for all Nintendo Switch Hour review, previews, cosplay. What else do they do on YouTube?
Like, subscribe, share, tweet.
Smash that button. Smash it.
I thought you were doing your plugs already. I didn't realize. I thought you just jumped right into your plugs. Go ahead. What do you got? For once, you get to go first. What are your plugs, sir?
Watch me on my couch as I play some games. I have a Switch code. I've given my Switch code to my friends. They've said, cool. They have not added me. I have then gone, all right, maybe you don't know how that works. What's your code? I'll check, they say. I haven't gotten anything back. Some of those people are in this room.
Is that me? Because I don't remember having that conversation.
Me neither.
It might be.
Yo, I have not touched my Switch
Me neither.
since I gave you games to play for the Switch.
Yo, thank you for Donkey Kong Country.
Did you get through it all? Or
I haven't beaten it.
Well, yeah, no, I haven't beaten it either. That's
Yeah.
why I gave it to you. Because I decided it wasn't going to happen.
Let me know if you have anything else to send my way. Actually, I have so many things. On the
I'm sure
backlog.
you know, and then you're probably quarantined in a few hours for no reason at all.
Well, Per's one of the people that I, share a domicile with. It's a TSA agent in LaGuardia. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dope.
so you guys both now have the virus.
Yo, honestly, with my job, I already got it, so I'm sorry.
Yo, I jack off like 5 times a day. I'm immune.
I thought that was ending. I jack off tons of people, and if I don't have it now, I'm sure it's not gonna happen.
They say if you have sex, that your immunity's boosted, so I just jerk off like 8 times a day.
Who says that? It's right back to the Sonic thing. Who's saying this? The people who are
The masturbation lobby.
Yeah,
baby, the cum is good for your face. It's good for you.
where's the proof that says it isn't?
Mm.
I'm not saying that me saying it is good is not a lie. I'm just saying, show me that's harmful, and then I'll stop.
Join us next week.
Because if it's neutral, why do I gotta suffer?
That's Switzerland semen.
Oh, only the best. That was a late sponsor, really, right there.
Switzerland semen.
Yeah.
VictoryProWrestling.com. You can check it out. April 17th is the show. I don't think it's happening. They're acting like, oh, there's only a 2-week incubation period on this COVID-19, and that show's 5 weeks away, or however many weeks away is from when you're listening to this, so you don't have to worry about it. But they're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. So stay tuned, VictoryProWrestling.com for all them things. Otherwise, check out our podcast, Season 3, Why Would You Bean This? The only Beancast on the Beanernet.
Ironically, not on BeanPod.
No.
Yo.
It's Podbean, you dyslexic mother effer.
Well, that's probably why I'm not on it. Yo, let's make one called
I'm on the
BeanPod.
Bean
Bean
Pod.
Pod.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah, that was the mistake. They didn't put the bean first.
Oh.
I would have been in if they put bean first.
Shit.
Podbean sounds like beans that don't like who they are and are trying to disguise themselves as peas. I don't like it. Ooh! What is it? Podbean? Which is the real one? Podbean? Are pigeon peas.
Go on.
That's it.
I will. VictoryProWrestling.com for all your Victory Pro Wrestling related needs and desires and, however sick you want to get. VictoryProWrestling.com is what I just said, and I'm saying it a second time for no reason.
And I already said it.
Well, what happened to my plugs?
You
What happened to my plugs?
already did them.
You can also plug VictoryProWrestling.com if you
Well,
want.
thank you for taking my fucking final joke. Go to cdc.net. .net? Is it
Yo, our government is falling apart as we speak.
cdc.biz, yo.
CDC.net, and you can get your own virus net. Catch them and free
Go
them.
to godaddy.cdc.biz.net and get your web.
Go, Daddy. Go, Daddy. Go,
They
Daddy.
still do that?
Why would
Did they ever do that?
I could have sworn they did at one point. If not, send me a paycheck, Go, Daddy.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, not yet. That's why I asked them. WWYMT.com sends you to Why Would You Make This? It might be updated. I've asked Delta to do it, but he has told me he might need to rewire the website. I don't know what that means.
I didn't say rewire.
No, you didn't. But I did this thing.
I
called-
believe your exact expression was re-kajigger.
I believe the direct quote was, "You looked at me and said, I fucked my website face." It's an inside joke that I did not record and nobody gets. Yeah, www.ymp.com, but you said you have to, seriously back-end update that shit.
It's at the point where if I try to upload something,
Yeah.
I go to upload it, and it gets 75% of the way, and then it freezes, and I have to close it, and then when I go back, it's there, but unaccessible. So stuff partially gets there, and then I guess gets corrupted. So
I love that. I
And-
tried.
And what is that fabulous website algorithm that we use? Should we tell the people that we use? What do you want to promote there? Squarespace? What do we use? Himby.gov? What?
it's Gandhi.net. That's not a joke.
No, it really is that. It really is Gandhi.net. We're definitely being scammed. If you've ever gotten there, all of your information has been cycled through. Even stuff you haven't put in, it's
Yo,
there.
No joke. G Fuel, it's like, some kind of energy thing.
Yeah.
I was signed up, and then one day I was like, your order's gone through, and I was like, wait, what? And then I looked, and it was going to like Norway or some shit. And then I called up, and I was like, hey, how'd you guys let this go through? My address is not in Norway. And they're like, oh, we're sorry. We'll refund you the points. So I was like,
The points?
oh yeah, I had like free points on my account.
Oh.
Some guy hacked into my account and used like my bonus points or whatever for a free drink that he shipped to Norway. And they were like, well, there's nothing we can do. We already shipped it because he picked express shipping. And I was like, all right, well. Thanks, Gandhi.net. Do not use Gandhi.net.
But G Fuel is totally cool.
I don't know, man. All I can think about is, remember Balls? The drink Balls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing gave everyone diarrhea and we still drank it.
Yo,
Because EGM told us to.
would you believe me if I told you I still had a bottle in my fridge?
No.
In your fridge, that's
Yeah.
the weird part. Like,
Yeah.
I figured you'd keep it on a shelf somewhere.
No. It's still sealed sitting in the refrigerator.
But why you moved? You had to put it back in the fridge. Like,
You just came with me.
like my dad has soda from like 94 Woodstock, but he doesn't keep it in the fridge.
Well, just in case.
Coincidentally, that soda has eaten through the metal cans and leaked out onto the basement floor. And
And then gone through the floor.
yeah. I just keep waving to that guy, whoever he is, because I can see him.
Hi, Mr. Tomasulo.
No, I meant the mole people. Because that's my stance.
I thought they live in the staircases in the trees.
No, those are the big
Oh, no.
feet.
My bad.
Listen to what you're saying, man.
Yeah, mole man living in the trees.
Yo, you guys ever do a show and then just refuse to end it, even though it should have been over like an hour ago? No, actually, I do have to plug in. I do have to say, I do have to say, intro music is Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris, because that might not get us sued one day. Is it legally binding? I don't know, but I said it, so hopefully, my hands are clean. Huge Delta, me, Jimmy time. Please remember, without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves, support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.